that goes, right? And
This meeting is being recorded.
I feel like more and more with the way things are, we have to make a really conscious effort because of the quality of our foods and our sources and things like that out there. But also, I have my BFF from growing up, my childhood neighbor, Nicole, and she's jumped on the health and wellness train. And I watched her literally, no joke, just kind of transform over Facebook. Her skin was like vibrant and glowing, and I was like, wow, like I feel a lot better. And I was like, okay, I'm loving this stuff. And I start trying different things, but I don't see the vibration. I hit her up and I was like, okay, Nicole, what is this stuff? I'm always interested in finding the best quality, everything out there, like lay it out for me. And so I did their 30-day kind of reset. And y'all already know I'm a health person and I have like what I consider really good practices. And 1 week in, I was like, wow, like I feel a lot better than I did. And I already thought my baseline was good, but it was obviously not good enough because a week in, I was like, ooh, my body was really responding. And then I was joking with Nicole that we have this like pregnancy glow in our skin because the health shines through, your skin. And so 1 weekend I was like, okay, I'm loving this stuff. And I thought, oh, I'm just going to do this reset, whatever. And now I can't shut up. And I just tell everybody about these greens and the superfoods. And I did the parasite cleanse. And then, I'm just like, oh, telling everybody. So thanks for joining and hearing about this. I'm going to pass to Nicole because I basically said yes to this, just going off of my friendship with her and seeing her transform. I didn't know anything about the products in terms of details, and I knew it was organic, so it met my criteria, but I didn't know the details. And so I'm joining also just to learn from Deetra and from Nicole because it's a space that I don't know a lot about. So thank you, Nicole and Deetra, for being here.
Absolutely. I'm like technical difficulties over here. Definitely. Thanks for having me, Kristina. And thanks for, taking the step to level up your health. You guys know Kristina, and Kristina and I have been childhood buddies since childhood, literally laying out in the front of our houses, and then me getting in trouble because I don't need to be laying out with Kristina. Get in the shade, Nicole, would be the conversation. Let me see, I'm going to try to spotlight myself really quick because that kind of helps. I'm not really sure. Give me 1 second while I do that. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I kind of grew up, obviously understanding health and different things of that nature. And Kristina was one that I just felt like she's just on another level. Like I wasn't ready to be fooling around with the kind of stuff Kristina's talking about, right? And then I stepped into this regenerative health and I experienced the stuff Kristina be talking about, but on a whole nother level. And then like I've shed, 60 pounds of waste in my body, like coming alive, cellular regeneration, and really just like showing up in my body in ways that like I didn't even know was possible. So the thing for me was I thought I was fine. And then I didn't realize how sick I actually was until I started to feel better. And the superfoods were amazing to help transform my body. I am a certified birth doula. I'm an apprentice midwife. So I'm in birth work, and that means I'm in and out, up at all hours of the night, any time of day, whenever I get that call. And so this protocol changed my life and allowed me to show up. So you can get what's called adrenal fatigue from like that spontaneous getting up and going all the time and not really being in control of your schedule. And so my blood pressure was starting to kind of creep up in there and get some hypertension and some things that like we just really don't want for life. And I was like, I need to, one of the things, and bring that down, but also I wanted to shed some wagon, and what I like to call wagon, that means weight. I wanted to shed some wagon because when women are birthing at home, they birth in the smallest corner of their home. And so they can have these big elaborate homes, but where are they going to birth? In that little teeny weeny corner in the bathroom, and then I have to be able to navigate in there. So I had to shed some wagon so I could do my work. And what happened with that is I stepped into a business, I stepped into my health, I stepped into my life. And so I am a changed person today. And like the stuff Kristina's talking about or was talking about, and you guys might even feel like, okay, she's a little out there. I'm kind of out there too. And literally a year ago, you couldn't pay me to say, to believe that I would be having the conversations that I'm having now. Couldn't pay me, couldn't do it. And today I'm like, glyphosate is an issue. What's in that? Let's look at this ingredient list. And so I'm like looking at all of those things and really changing the trajectory of my life, my family's life, and our health and our well-being for generations to come. We're currently in a state where our children are not projected to outlive the parents. Like our children are currently not projected to outlive us. And that's because of the way our farming practices are, glyphosate and the toxins and all of that jazz. So before I get all turned up and into it, I'm going to pass this over to Deetra, who is my colleague, my friend. I was actually her doula with her baby, which is super exciting. And she is a regenerative detoxification practitioner and a therapist by trade. She's a mom of 4, and like I'm in her house too. So that's also cool. So I want to turn that over to her so she can really kind of break down a little bit more about the company and the products and how they can change your life. So Deetra.
Thanks, Nicole. Thanks for having me on, Kristina, and thanks to all of you for taking your Friday afternoon to be here. So I just want to share just a tiny bit about my story, and then I want to get into what really separates Purium from all the rest. So like Nicole said, I'm a therapist by trade. I practiced for over 15 years, and I'm now a certified regenerative detoxification practitioner. And that certification came from really getting into our mission here and our heart for seeing people address the root cause. So I was actually a part of another health and wellness company for 5 years because as a therapist, I understand the brain-gut connection and that the body heals as one unit and the importance of supplementation and all of those things. But what I did not know in those 5 years is the difference between isolated versus regenerative and organic, because there's a lot of labeling. It's just kind of trash, actually. We're marketed to and lied to. And so there's a lot of like natural this and organic that, but organic really doesn't mean that it's 100% clean, which is where regenerative health comes in. And I learned that because of this mission. So our family has been almost 100% organic for over 10 years. I consider myself really healthy. I work out all the time. Like I felt like I was doing all the things. But what I found is that I was actually in a state of cellular dehydration. And I was also in a state where my liver was being overworked because of isolated supplements. And so I was on a call like this, and a regenerative practitioner, she's also a naturopath, she looked through the Zoom and she asked me some questions about my eyes and about my skin. And she said, your liver is in a lot of trouble. What's your diet like? And I said, I'm 100% organic and I take natural supplements and I work out all the time. And she said, well, whatever you're taking is isolated because your liver's doing a lot of work. And I can see that from the yellowing of your eyes. And so at that point, I knew that I had a health journey that I needed to embark on, because sometimes we don't know that we're suffering till we're not suffering anymore. And the absence of dis-ease doesn't necessarily equal health. And so I started this health transformation really having zero expectancy, but in 3 days, I came alive in my body in a way that I hadn't in a really long time. And part of the reason that I started this journey was a friend who lives here in Minnesota with me was suffering with autoimmune. She was super sick, and I saw her literally transform, and I was captivated by her testimony. And so I reached out to her and I said, I want to know what you're doing. And when I got a hold of these superfoods, I was just really overwhelmed that one, I had missed out on this whole dynamic about glyphosate. And you heard Kristina mention that, and Nicole also mentioned that. So the mission of our company, which is called Purium, it stands for Pure and Premium. The mission of our company is human health, planetary health, and financial health. So 100 years ago, our food was all organic and it was not impacted by any kind of pesticides or toxins or chemicals. And then after World War II with Agent Orange and all of the nuclear weapons, glyphosate, which was actually used in the nuclear weapons in the war, was brought back to the United States because they saw, oh wow, look, this gets rid of weeds. We're going to bring this back and we're going to repackage this and start to market it as a way to help farmers. Well, what happened is we got into fast farming practices and we started spraying glyphosate on all of our crops. And glyphosate, for those of you that don't know, is the main ingredient in Roundup. And so it is now sprayed on all of our crops. It's in our air and water systems. It's in our rainwater. And you can even get it from touching something like a doorknob. So we're all inundated with it. Like literally, I was born in 1981. We started spraying this in 1980. So I haven't known a world without glyphosate in my entire life. And so because we're all inundated with it, we have seen this skyrocketing, staggering rate of dis-ease in all of our children. We've seen it in adults. We see common conditions like diabetes and arthritis. We see high blood pressure. We see autoimmune, Crohn's, IBS, all the things that seem to be common but are not normal. And if I ask any of you on the call, if you knew somebody that had one of those diagnoses that I just gave, probably all of you could raise your hand. And that's because of glyphosate. Because what glyphosate does is it damages, one, the plant. And the plant is really where we get our nutrients. So it damages something in the plant known as the shikimate pathway. And that's really where our nutrients come from. But it also damages our gut. It damages our microbiome. And the lining of our gut is as thin as one single strand of hair. And so when we take in a chemical, also known as a neurotoxin like glyphosate, you would expect that there's going to be some damage internally. And glyphosate is actually patented as an oral antibiotic, which means against life. In other countries like Mexico and in like France, glyphosate is banned. But in the United States, they have deemed it safe, but it's not. And so the way that our company really came to be known for what we do is 28 years ago is when our company was actually founded we have two owners, one Dave Sandoval, and the other is Amy Venner. And Dave Sandoval has had a great amount of farmland. He still does. And his farmland is over 100 miles away from any kind of industrialization. So it's removed from the chance of runoff from other crops and just pollution. And so the government got involved and said, you know, you're not spraying your plants the way that we want you to. You're not using fast farming practices. And they threatened to take his land from him if he didn't do what they were asking. So he actually took his case to the Supreme Court and won, because he said that consumers needed a way to be able to differentiate between what is conventionally farmed and what is regeneratively grown. And because of that court case, we have the USDA organic seal that you see on your labels in the store. So when you buy organic fruit, the first number on your fruit is a 9, which signifies it's organic. Or when you look at your label and you see USDA, that came from the court case with the owner of our company. So when we talk about organic, we mean it because that originated with us, but we go beyond organic by making sure everything is regeneratively grown. And what that means is that the soil has not been impacted by any kind of toxins or heavy metals or pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, biocides, no genetically modified organisms. There's nothing artificial, and it takes about 3 to 4 years to get the soil to a state of being regenerative. So every farm that we partner with, we make sure that we go through a very strenuous process of getting their soil to a state of being very, very clean. And we're very ethical. Everything is third party tested. We run it through 5 tiers of quarantine. We use proper crop rotation. We use green manure and spring water to really nurture the soil. And so our in-house microbiologists really make sure that everything is done up to standards, which is amazing. And so this is the purest food that you can get. Actually, it's cleaner than anything that you can get in the store. And because of that, we are seeing amazing testimonies from people who are really getting to the root cause, because most all conditions in the body can be reversed when you give the body the right environment. And the quality of your food directly impacts the quality of your life, which is why this is a mission of ours, because our heart is that people would feel well in their bodies. We did not have the conditions that we see 100 years ago before we started poisoning the plants. I mean, that's really the shortest way to put it. And so we want to inform our customers and our community that they have power. And so we take money out of the hands of the billionaires, put it back into the hands of the people, and provide them with amazing organic, regeneratively grown superfoods. And so our promise is that anything that you get is going to be pure, and it's going to be potent, and it's going to be nourishing to you at the cellular level. So Purium is not a company that focuses on macros. We are a very macro focused culture. How many macros, how many calories? And we are very focused on phytonutrients and micronutrients, because when your body is nourished at the cellular level is where you get it into a place of regenerating. That means to make it new, to transform it, to turn over. So you heard Kristina and Nicole talking about their skin and glowing, and how Nicole has this amazing health testimony where she shed waste in her body and she looks younger in her skin. And that's because of the renewal, because our superfoods are alkaline. So there are 2 sides to chemistry where food is concerned. There is acid and there's alkaline. And acids put your body in a state of degeneration. That's where it stops turning over. It's where people start to look old. It's where gravity wins. It's where hair starts to fall out, nails get brittle. And regeneration is where you're getting new turnover all the time, and kind of where you're aging in reverse. So the foundation of our company really started with 4 main products, and I would like to talk about those. And I actually like to call them superfoods, because these are foods. Like if you never ate anything else, you would be perfectly fine with these superfoods because they are nourishing you. So I call them superfoods and not products. But the Power Shake is really, it was kind of the foundation of where we got started. And the Power Shake is 97% of all of your fruit and vegetable needs in one shake. So it's super alkalizing. It's all organic fruits and veggies. And it really nourishes to clean up the internal terrain. So when we say that, what we're speaking to is moving waste and acid out of the body and moving the body into a space of being alkaline and clean, so that 1, you're well nourished, 2, you're hydrated, but 3, your body is getting what it needs, because your fruits and vegetables that you buy in the store, even if they are organic, they are missing a lot of their essential nutrients. So there are 3 categories you can purchase. There's conventional, which it's dead. There's nothing in that. And then there's organic, which is much, much better. and then there is regeneratively grown. And so our fruits and veggies that we use in our shake, they're organic and regeneratively grown. And so they go from our farm to our warehouse to your door. So we are our own manufacturer. We don't have a person in the middle. We do everything ourselves in-house so that we can ensure what is in the superfoods. So that is the Power Shake. And
Deetra,
then,
can I add to what you're
yes,
saying about the Power Shake?
please.
So
Mhm.
when Nicole introduced me and I was like, okay, just get me the stuff. What's the stuff? Give me the stuff. And I started with the Power Shake and I said, Nicole, I'm just going to eat like I regular do. Don't mess with my food. I want to just still eat. And she's like, well, you're going to be satiated. You're not going to want to eat. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And when I started drinking it, now I drink it for breakfast with coconut water and then the rest water. And I feel so good throughout the whole morning. I don't even feel like touching food until about 11:30, between 11:30 and 12:30. And so I know that my body is getting what it needs because, the body's then not going through the trash can looking for the nutrients because the body it got it. So I love starting my day already knowing that I ate almost every single thing that I needed to eat for the whole day. And it was just in breakfast. So
Thank you. And that is so true. And I would say that for most everybody that starts on these superfoods. So it has been almost 2 years that I've been on my superfood journey, and all of my kids, I have 4 kids, and my husband, we take the superfoods every day. My kids drink our family shake, and that is what they have many days for breakfast, and they love it. So the second component is something called biomedic. And biomedic is a prebiotic and probiotic that is clinically and scientifically proven to remove glyphosate from your body. So I mentioned that glyphosate is sprayed on all of our crops, it's in our water, in our air systems, we're inundated with it. They have found it in the umbilical cords of a baby because moms take it in. Like, we're all impacted by it, and you can't wash glyphosate off of your fruit and your veggies. Even if you soak them, no matter what you soak them in, it is absorbed into the fruit because it's in the soil. So biomedic pulls it out of the body through your stools. And so what happens and the way it's coming out, you'll be able to see it. So you get something in your bowel wall called mucoid plaque. It's a sticky black film, and essentially it binds to the bowel wall. And so you get this buildup. When glyphosate is being removed from the body, what you'll see is black slime in your stools, essentially, which is good. It means that it is coming out. It's also proven to reduce C-reactive protein, and it is a capsule. So it is a proprietary herbal blend. And the reason it's proprietary is because our owner, who is a microbiologist, he designed it. And so it's just proprietary herbs blended up into a capsule that you take once a day. My dad is 82 and was a diabetic, and we have been able to reverse his diabetes with the biomedic and the Power Shake, which is amazing for an 82-year-old man from the South. I'm originally from Arkansas, and we are meat and potato people. So all the starches, and he's been able to reverse his diabetes with this. Many people that have like gluten sensitivity, people with celiac have been able to reverse it because it's actually not the gluten that creates those conditions, it's the glyphosate. And so by taking that and removing and pulling that glyphosate out, you're able to reverse those conditions all within 6 weeks. The third component is something called Super Amino 23. And Super Amino 23 is my jam. So I was a big protein girl because I work out a lot and I like to build muscle. But I mentioned earlier overworking my liver and that my body was just essentially worn out because you will never go to the doctor and hear that you have a protein deficiency. It just won't happen because we are a very protein focused society. But our body, what it actually needs to build is something called amino acids. So aminos are a simple structure, and put together, they create a complex structure of protein. But aminos is what our body uses to build, repair joint, muscle, and connective tissue. So it's super satiating. It helps the body to really start to repair and nourish and build at the cellular level. And the aminos, they're just organic, pre-digested, non-soy legumes that were designed by an Italian doctor. And they were originally designed for people who were on bed rest to keep their muscles healthy and to keep their muscles from deteriorating. And you can find and read about them actually in the physician's desk reference because they're that amazing. And so we encourage people to take 5 to 10 a day. I take about 15. I take 5 before I work out. For those of you that are like to get movement in your body, I take 5 before I work out, 5 after, and then 5 later in the afternoon. But they are bioavailable in your body in 23 minutes. So what that means is that your body can actually utilize and absorb them without creating stress on your liver. Because when you take in a lot of protein, a lot of animal protein and things like that, that takes about 4 to 5 days for your body to actually break that down. And it creates a lot of stress in the body. And your body sometimes just needs a quiet rest. So the aminos absorb quickly, your body can utilize them and go to work for you. And then we have the apothecary, which is delicious. And this is for deep sleep. So most of us sleep, but most of us don't rest. And rest is what our body actually needs to repair. So between 9 and 4 a.m., your body is doing a lot of work. 9 to 12 is where your hormones are working, your endocrine system. So like your adrenals and your thyroid, your pituitary, your liver is doing its work between 1 and 4 in the morning. So if you're not going into a deep state of sleep, your body is not actually getting that deep state of work that it needs to repair and rebuild. So the apothecary, it's just 1 to 2 teaspoons a day. I actually drink on it throughout the day because I love it, but it also helps with kidney filtration. 7 out of 10 people, their kidneys are actually not filtering. And what I mean by that is we go pee and we're like, oh, yay, it's yellow or it's clear, or, I'm peeing 2 or 3 times a day, but that is not the indication of filtration. So when your kidneys are filtering, it means that waste is actually leaving your body through your kidneys. And that's important because your body has 3 main elimination pathways: your kidneys via the urine, your stools, and the air that you breathe. And so you really need for your body to be eliminating waste, because you want what you don't eliminate, you accumulate back into the body. So this is great for that. And then it's great for reducing inflammation. So Nicole mentioned her weight loss journey, that she was losing waste, because excess weight in the body is really excess waste. And so when she was drinking the apothecary, it was helping her body to release that inflammation and that waste out. And then the body starts to release weight. And then the last component, it's not featured here on the 4 main products. This is actually in the transformation that Kristina did, that Nicole did. It's where I started. And that is something called the Super Cleanse R. So the Super Cleanse R is our very gentle parasite cleanse. And I say gentle because I know we've heard about parasite cleanses. We've seen them in GNC and Target and places like that. Those are usually trash. They're usually isolated with a bunch of fillers. This is gentle because it's a proprietary blend of herbs. Every single one of us has parasites. If you have eaten meat, if you've been camping, if you've walked outside without shoes, if you have pets, they're everywhere. And parasites are responsible for things like irritability and cravings and bloating and brain fog and skin issues. I mean, a whole host of issues. And so by detoxing and killing off parasites in your body, you get rid of those symptoms. But parasites lay eggs. And so this protocol helps not only to get rid of the parasites, but to kill the cycle of, okay, I got rid of the parasites and then they laid eggs and then they came back. So we're getting rid of the whole cycle. So it helps with a balanced mood. and it helps with having a healthier colon and gut health. So that is our transformation in a nutshell. And I have yet to meet a client that has not done well. My sister reversed gastritis in her body. My other sister reversed Hashimoto. My dad reversed diabetes. And my other sister reversed her anxiety and depression. Because when you give your body what it needs and you really help your internal terrain to clean up, the body can go to work for you. So, with that, I would just like to invite you all to ask any questions while we're here, because one of the ways that we really help people to get to the root cause is to not focus on the diagnosis, right? So we say in regenerative health, don't be dazzled by the diagnosis, just do the detox, right? Because the root cause of most everything is our diet, parasites, and too many acids in the body. And so we love to support people to get to their root cause. And so if you've heard something on this call today from either Kristina or Nicole or something I shared, we would love for you to partner with Kristina and start a transformation with us. We actually just started our Thankful for Health Challenge this month, and we're going to be doing that all the way through the first of the year, because people really like to wait until January to get healthy. It's like, okay, I'm going to treat my body like trash all through Thanksgiving and all through Christmas. And then I'm going to reset at the beginning of the year, which is really the worst thing you can do. And I like for people to think about it this way. How much are you really enjoying your holidays if you're sleeping them away because you feel so bad? And so we just say, add this in. You do not have to give up the things that you love to start working towards your health. And so wherever you are in your journey, if you're like, I feel bad and I really want to do a complete reset the way that Kristina did, you can do that. Or if you think, I just want to take a step towards, you can do that as well. We really offer something for everyone. And so I would love to just open this up to question and answer, and to support you in your goals, and then also to encourage you to partner with Kristina, because I know that as she hangs around here, she is really going to be talking about this a lot, and she's going to be an amazing coach for you to support you, because I can hear she's already doing all the things, and she's added in this organic superfood nutrition. So with that, I'm going to stop talking, and if you have questions, you can either use the raise hand feature at the bottom, or you can just come off mute and ask your question. Thanks for your time.
I feel like this is just like a classroom. You ask what questions people have, and then it's quiet. And then as soon as somebody asks the question, there's like a million of them. So I know you said,
Kristina,
Deetra, yeah, Maria.
Don has a question.
Yay, Don.
He says, how much is it?
The man question right there.
Great question. That was my husband's question too. So the transformation is $329, and that is for 60 superfood meals. So that's basically 2 meals a day. So 2 shakes, the Biomedic, the aminos, the cherry, and then the super cleanser I mentioned, which is the parasite cleanse, is 10 days of that 30 days. And depending on what your goals are, we have some couples that they each do their own 30-day transformation, which is great. They do it together. And then we have some couples that will split a transformation and each do 1 shake each a day for 30 days. And so there's a couple of ways to do that, but it's $329 with Kristina's unique code that she's going to share with you today.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Can I ask, do you have a specific health goal that you are thinking that you would like to work on?
For us, she's asking. I do have a lot of like gastritis, right? Like I deal with that. I've always dealt with that. I mean, I went on a cleanse last year, just eating the right foods, and I did lose a little bit of weight, but it was more so for my gut. I'm all about treating the gut. But then, life happens and you kind of have to You can't keep that forever. And, being in the kitchen for hours a week, it's just hard when you're working full time and you have a family that you need to take care of. So I haven't gone back to where I was back then, but, I just, healing the gut more than anything.
Mhm.
I think
That's
that
great.
most everyone on here, Deetra and Nicole, are all educators. So everyone's flying out the door, throwing snacks in their bag while it's feeding kids. And I have no kitchen right now, which I keep repeating to everybody because I'm low-key traumatized. But I've been able to still drink my shake every single day because I literally put it in a mason jar, my half coconut water, half water. I do my scoops, I shake it up, and then I start drinking it while I'm getting the kids ready for school and stuff. Before, I was running out the door with my sourdough and avocado toast, it was cold or whatever, and then I'm hungry in a couple hours. This is so easy to integrate. Like, you don't have to, I don't know. I just feel like it's so easy for even the busiest person. It's not hard to do, and you will notice a change almost immediately. That's what impressed me so much, was that I looked in the mirror and then I told my husband, like, babe, look at my skin. My skin is glowing. Isn't my skin glowing? And he's like, yeah, because that's the right answer. But I could see it, I could really see it. And then I could see it in Nicole. And I just felt like, wow. And you see that in healthy people, that vibrance, when you're not well, when your body's in that state of really healing, you see like you don't have color in your face and you look like that. When you're well, your body is vibrant and colorful. And that's what I think you'll see. So when you do this, please take pictures. I didn't. Take pictures to show your body changing, because it's that impressive in my book. I've never, ever found something that I feel like is this amazing. And I use lots of different natural stuff. I mean, I'm literally that impressed by it.
Great answer. Yeah, so I want to speak to the gastritis a little bit, and then I saw a question. And Deetra, okay, Deetra will answer. Okay, so I'm going to answer about the kids' health and after the gastritis question. So my sister, as long as I can remember, so there's a big gap between us. She has suffered with gastritis, and she also had her gallbladder removed. So about once a quarter, she would be going to the ER. She would eat something, it would flare up. She'd be doubled over in pain. And then she had all these food tests. It was this, and then it was that. It was always switching. But it was her gut, because it's really easy to damage your gut when you are putting acids in your body. So what we did was, she did 60 days of a 30-day transformation. So she did 2 of them back to back, and I cleaned up her diet a little bit, and she reversed her gastritis, and she was able to get off her high cholesterol medicine. Like, literally, she threw it up in the sink one day. Her body was like, nope, we don't need that anymore. She took it, and the whole pill just came up. And so, and that was in 2021, like towards the beginning. We're almost into 2023. And so she is now in maintenance. And so she works for an airline. She literally takes her shake, she shakes it up, she goes. We say this is the easiest and healthiest fast food that you will ever find, because you're literally putting your superfood in your water bottle, shaking it up, and going, taking it with you on the go. I have 4 kids. We're always on the go. I live in my car, and this is just what we do. And so if that encourages you, and I have her testimony, I'm always happy to send that to Kristina to share with you. So let me know, and I can send that to Kristina. Lisa, I'm interested for myself and my son for sure. Are there kid-friendly products? Absolutely. So my children are 18, 14, almost 9, and just turned 6. And they do what is called our Epigenius Kids Shake. They're actually going to be renaming that next year to Epigenius Family, because we have so many adults that take it. But the Epigenius Kids Shake is basically, it's everything that Nicole was showing some slides that said 4 main products. It's all those 4 main superfoods, but it's in one shake. and it's a creamy chocolate shake. And so you literally can do it with coconut water or almond milk and water. And that is what I blend up with ice for my kids every day for their breakfast. And it is the same. It's 97% of their fruit and veggie needs. But in that shake is the glyphosate and gut healing herb. The aminos is also in that shake, and the cherry is in that shake. So they're getting the shake at one time. And then we also have an amazing herbal organic immune support, which I think every child should be on. It's an herbal tincture. So it tastes like maple syrup. You can drop it in their shake, put it in their mouth. And then we have something called Kids in Focus, which I take. Even though it's formulated for kids, adults can still take it. And that is a great, especially for you educators, it is a great nervous system support because kids, the go, 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 your nervous system is always in this fight or flight. I got to get out of the door. Okay, what time is it? Okay, I got to make sure they get back from lunch. Your nervous system gets worked up, that works your adrenals, and all of that impacts your health because the more your cortisol is up, the more your gut is damaged because leaking cortisol impacts gut damage. Gut damage impacts every other condition in the body because the gut is the mother of the body. It tells the body what to do. So that is our children's line, and it's fantastic. And I would recommend all three of those. Just have them on hand for anybody in your home. And then I also recommend our Zinc Aid, which is it's whole food, zinc, A, C, D, and E, all in one capsule. And that's important because you will hear during cold and flu season, oh, I'm already on a vitamin C or I'm already taking a D. But if it's not whole food source, the body can't recognize it and you just pee it out. We call it expensive pee. And so you want to make sure anything that you're taking, especially your kids, that it is whole food so their body can actually utilize it. And so it is not stressing out their little bodies so young. You have a money back guarantee as well. Absolutely. We have a 60-day money back guarantee, no questions asked. And from now until the end of the year, anyone that is diagnosed with diabetes or has any kind of A1C issues, if you have a statement from your doctor and you send that into Purium when you place your order, if you're like, I don't like it, or my A1C didn't drop, or my insulin isn't regulating, they will give you your money back for 90 days. And that's new this year because the owner of our company believes in what we do so much for people with diabetes, because that's a really common issue is the insulin resistance. And he is really wanting to show that diabetes can be reversed. It's a food issue. It's a food issue. So for those people, it's 90 days. Is there anyone you can think of who wouldn't benefit from these products? Nope, not one single person. Nobody. Everybody from the baby I have helped a couple of moms with newborn babies or babies like 8 months. They were nursing and babies had eczema because of mama's diet. It was coming out through baby skin, and we put mama on these superfoods and baby's eczema went away. So from birth on up. Nope, can't think of one person.
I noticed that you had an animal or pets product too. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's called Epigenius Dogs. And because our dogs have guts too, and our dogs are greatly impacted by glyphosate. So when I was a kid, pets lived like for a long time, like they grew up with you. Now pets are dying a lot sooner, and it's because they're eating the grass. They're going potty on the grass, and they are getting glyphosate not only through their skin, but also taking it in internally. And so the Epigenius Dogs has the biometic in it to help to pull it out of your pet's gut as well. So their body can be free from glyphosate as well. And so their gut can heal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Deetra, I sent you, there was a message, and I sent you, is it good for acne and acne prone teens?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And here I have I have two teens. I have an 18-year-old and I have a 14-year-old. Nicole is looking at my 14-year-old because she's here in my home and he doesn't have acne. Acne is not I put my kid on, what was that? It's by Rodan and Fields. Before there was Rodan and Fields, there was this really like fancy line of like acne relief. That is not the issue. It doesn't matter what your face wash is. Acne is a kidney filtration issue. So basically what acne is your kidneys are not filtering. And so when your body can't get rid of waste through the urine or through the stool, it will use your skin as its third kidney. So rosacea, acne, eczema, all of those things are really waste coming out on your skin because that's the way the body has to get them out. So when we can get the elimination pathways open, when we can decrease inflammation, and when we clean up the gut, the acne will regulate itself. It'll go away. That's the root cause of it. These are great questions. I love this group. I do. I love good questions. And the reason I love questions is because then we tear down this lie that we have to be sick, right? That our diagnosis is what we are, that there's no cure for all these things. They're common, but they're not normal. And everything in the body has a root cause. And so when we talk about it, we really dispel the belief that the things that we're presented with are things that we have to accept, because we don't. Any other questions? I have to log off, but Kristina, where did it go? Kristina, I'll be in touch with you soon. I see the website and code. Thank you. Thanks, Lisa. How can they order? So if you guys want to order, Nicole put the link, I believe, is in the chat. Kristina can also send you a link with her discount code built in. And you can order directly from there. You just create an account, set it up, and it will give you a discount. It's ishoppurium.com. Or if you have personal questions, we can customize that for you, and she can send you a link with those superfoods customized or curated for you. And everything arrives quickly. Yes, it does. Okay. Well, this has been great. And grab that link in the comments. And if I can support with any other questions, Kristina, just reach out. I'm happy to curate a protocol for any of your guests, even after this call. And I so appreciate you guys really being willing to dive into your health journey and for supporting Kristina. Maria, I am curious about what your husband thinks.